Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts. Leicester Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
And now, here's your host.
right, Chris?
Good evening, welcome along. How are you? Or should I say, how the devil are you? It is day 28 of the transfer window, and it's still quiet down Filbert Street way. I tell you what, to say that there's a lot to talk about. To say that it is a quiet news day, as in actual news, it's really busy with the intros. With the rumours. This is Leicester Till I Die TV. I haven't been drinking. If you are watching on your favourite platform, whether that be Twitter or Facebook, we thank you. If you can get onto YouTube and give us a subscribe, that would be even better. And if you are listening on your favourite podcast platform, thank you for lending me your ears. This is The Back Pages, the news show. And please, if you could be so kind, I ask one thing of you apart from subscribing. Please support the companies that support the channel.
Leicester lead again! The goals are flowing here now!
The Leicester Till I Die shop is now open. For all your Leicester Till I Die merchandise, visit the Leicester Till I Die shop at our website.
Indeed, and all the details are in the description below on YouTube, and it tells you how to get the discounts on the various items. Please give them all your support. So, let's have a look at the news. Well, what goes through here? Vardy. Brilliant news. Josie Green signs from Tottenham. Well, one pot of Leicester's made a signing today. Orkun Kokcu, this is training for Feyenoord. Anything happening there? Indeed, the injury update. Yuri Tillemann's latest. Yeah, exactly. Internationals return. Maybe now we'll start to see some movement. De Keltiere choice down to 2 clubs. Interesting. Wayne Rooney to Leicester City. I kid you not. Wayne Rooney to Leicester City. And we'll also be looking at the top 20 worst ever Premier League strikers. Is there a Leicester striker in there? And I've just read this and I can't believe this, but apparently Leicester wants Spurs midfielder Harry Winks. All I can say is this. Oh, yes, indeed. That apparently is the news. Thankfully, it is on one of the not so trustworthy sites. But I think that would be a case like Perez, is that if we got him, they wouldn't want him back. And that probably says something about him. You know, Tottenham would be happy for him to go. probably means that we wouldn't probably be best at signing him. So let's get on with the news. Evening, Spencer. How the devil are you, sir? Welcome along. Hi, Terry. How are you? Welcome along as well. All is good at this end. Hope all is good at your end as well. So let's go through all these bits of news, shall we? Because there is a lot to say. Today it's a non-news day. There's a lot to get through. Last night it broke, and I mean, it's great news. It's great news. Jamie Vardy makes Leicester City promise and delivers key contract update. Jamie Vardy has revealed he wants to extend his Leicester City contract beyond next summer, because of course he's only got 12 months to go. The 35-year-old is due to see his current deal expire in 12 months time, but wants to continue his Leicester career beyond that point. Would you keep him beyond that point? I would. I'm not going to lie. I would definitely keep him if he can continue scoring goals in the Premier League and maintain his fitness. I mean, he is 35. Let's be honest with you, he can give some 18-year-old players a run for the money, can't he? I mean, I think it will come down to whether he will be happy with that super sub role, because I think he will be not playing 90 minutes, and we've not got Europe this season, so hopefully we'll have Europe the season after. And obviously Daka's come in to complement him, and I think slowly replace him. And if Jamie's happy to play that role, then I think, you know, he can stay. He can stay definitely. Vardy's been obviously been at the club now for 10 years and has earned himself legend status. He has. Vardy is still hungry, however, for more, and has confirmed that he wants to stay at the club beyond the summer of 2023. He openly discussed his future when asking about moving to the United States to be more involved with Rochester, New York FC, the third-tier team he owns. At the end of the day, first and foremost, my priority is Leicester City, and it always will be, Vardy told Football Joe. So it's not a silly sight. That's what it comes down to, making sure I give my all day in and day out for Leicester, and long may that continue. If playing in America is nothing I've considered at all, my priority is Leicester. I've still got another year left on my deal, and fingers crossed, if I can carry on getting the goals, still playing well and keeping fit, that can be extended to later down the line. Oh, yeah, Jamie, can you imagine? If Daka or Inacho have been running the opposition defence ragged for 70 minutes. Finally, Daka's gone off, because he's not exactly, you know, a slow coach himself. And the defenders, thank God he's going. Oh, shit, Vardy's coming on. So, yeah, Jamie Vardy, thank you very much. We would love to have you longer than that. But he's got experience, so he's got the experience in this, you know, in the Premier League that he can give to Daka. He can help Daka progress, which I think it's all, you know, that's what it's about. And you've got to have experience in there as well. And depending on what his involvement is with Rochester, I mean, yes, he owns it, but depending how involved he wants to get, who knows, that he might eventually, you know, want to take on a coaching role as for the Strikers. Who knows? But anyway, we have made a signing. I know you're going to say, come on, Chris, you know, what you've been drinking, and you'll have some of what I've been smoking. But yes, we have made a signing.
Serious, man. You cannot be serious.
Yeah, LCFC women have swooped for Wales international Josie Green. Yes. Who are you? I'd never heard of her, but then again, obviously this is women's football. But she's the Tottenham player, Wales international midfielder Josie Green has made the switch to LCFC women following 6 years with Tottenham Hotspur, subject to league approval. She's 29 years old. And so she joins us after 6 years. She's been a regular in the Barclays Women's Super League for Spurs since their promotion as quadruple winners in the 16-17 season. She was captain of the side in 2020. and made 15 appearances for Spurs last season, scoring once and helping the team to 5th place in the Women's Super League. She's not sure. I'm not quite sure what position she's playing, but like I say, she's an international. And I was going to say this actually while I'm on the topic of women's football, because later on tonight, 7:45, there is a watch along for Northern Ireland versus Norway, which is in England's group. We did the watch along yesterday for England versus Austria, and I put the link in the Facebook group. Now, I guess every club has the Neanderthal fans, but the comments that were going up about it, and I don't think they watched it because they said it was a boring match. It was far from boring. And if you think it is boring, then have you watched England men recently? If you've got that sort of opinion of women's football, please leave the group. It saves me having to kick you out, and I think you're just brain dead. I think you are an ostrich.
You want the truth? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth!
So we have got a player that we have been linked with in the guise of... Sorry, I should say welcome to Josie Green, to Leicester City Women. We hope you have great success and enjoy your time here. Orkun Kokcu from Feyenoord. Now, what is happening with him? I mean, Feyenoord have just sold a player to a Premier League team. It might be Fulham, actually. But Feyenoord has confirmed that Leicester City-linked midfielder Orkun Kokcu has left their Austrian training camp as they prepare for the new season. City were first linked with a move for the 21-year-old back in January last year, with reports that a loan bid was made for the midfielder. However, a move to the King Power Stadium never materialised, but the club are said to have maintained their interest in the player. Brendan Rodgers is keen to add to his central midfield options this summer, especially given the uncertainty over the future of Yuri Tielemans and fringe players Hamza Chowdhury and Babaku Sumari. So I think we've Sumari might be going out on loan. I think Hamza's going. Papa Mendy could be going. So, he's been one of the key players for Feyenoord as the Dutch side made it to the final of the Europa Conference League last season, losing to Roma in the final. And of course, they should have been playing us, but hey-ho. He played a total of 51 games in all competitions, scoring 9 goals. The midfielder was in Austria with Feyenoord as the club undergo a pre-season training camp, but an update from the club on social media confirms that the player has left the camp early. It says due to illness. But, yeah, illness, I don't know. But is he coming to sign? Is it a sign that he's coming? This is Leicester. Let's not read too much into it. Wilfred Ndidi. Yes, Ndidi provides an injury update as Leicester City prepare for first pre-season game. The Nigerian midfielder has not played since March after sustaining a knee injury against Rennes that required surgery and ruled him out for the rest of the season. He's in a much better place, it says, following a serious knee injury. Did plenty of work during the off-season, spending time in Dubai for a week of warm weather training. Oh, it's a hard life, isn't it? I need training. I need it to be warm. Turn the heating on. Mind you, she said that with the cost of heating these days, it's probably cheaper to fly to Dubai and stay there. So indeed, he told LCFC TV, I've been working my way back. I went away for 2 weeks and came back early. The body's really adapted to it. It's good for me. I'm in a much better place. And of course, we've got our first game coming up at the weekend when we play Notts Forest, who, of course, as anybody knows, is the biggest team in Nottingham. They are, aren't they? Terry, we watched the ladies last night and surprised how open the game was. No diving, etc. was really watchable. It was, Terry, it was. But like I say, these knuckle dragging the handholds that support football clubs can't see it. It's not as good as men's. Oh yeah, you probably didn't do it. They've only watched 2 minutes. So I'm not too worried about them. With any luck, they'll have been upset because I deleted the posts and they will leave the group. Arsenal. Oh, there we go. Youri Tielemans. I mean, how long is this going to go on for? I just want a break. But anyway, Arsenal. Anyway, he's back now. He's back, I believe, today. The internationals returned. Arsenal told they're wasting time as Youri Tielemans' transfer drags on. Arsenal fans are giving their thoughts on the latest reports around the future of Youri Tielemans, a speculation over where the midfielder will be playing next season. The future of the Leicester City midfielder remains uncertain, with him having just 1 year remaining on his deal. Arsenal in the team credited with the most interest for the last few months. Like we say, Arsenal, we know we're interested in him before he signed for us. Obviously, Wenger with his Monaco links. But it's getting silly now. He's got a year left. If you're going to start messing about with, well, here's 25 million, we paid nearly 40 for him. We want 30. If you are serious, Arsenal, get off your arses, get your finger out your nose, put a check on there for 30 million, and I reckon it'll be yours. Please, just so we can move on. Right. 7 Leicester City players return to allow transfers and loans to speed up. Yeah, right. Okay. If you say so, let me just do that. If you really do say so. City welcome back more players into pre-season training on Wednesday, with defenders James Justin, Johnny Evans, Soyuncu and Luke Thomas amongst them. Oh, it doesn't say about Tielemans. I thought he would have been back. City welcomed a complete back four back, Justin Evans, Soyuncu and Thomas. Also returning with 3 promising young players who had been away with England's youth teams. Soyuncu obviously could be on the way out. No mention still about me, Mr. T. Maybe our Mr. T is scared of flying and he's going to be coming back on a bus. I don't know. Okay, so Delk Keteler. You know I'm going to have trouble with that. You're going to do that. Let us call him CDK. Okay, let's call him CDK. My wife used to buy all her underwear from C&A. You don't have to ask why. And if you're too young to know who C&A are, it's probably just as well. Leicester City now in two-way Charles Delk CDK transfer battle as lead snub revealed. This is pretty much an old news. I think that it's just being updated. It's that boring that we're having to sort of regurgitate old news. He's not interested in moving to Leeds United this summer, according to reports in Belgium. 21-year-old has heavily been linked with a move to City since the January transfer window, but we're yet to make an offer. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? The same can't be said for both Leeds United and AC Milan, who had also shown an interest. You can see it's updated because that bit's not updated. The two clubs are said to have made an offer. According to the club have to ignore Leeds' offer at this stage. CDK himself is not interested in a move to Ellen Road due to them fighting against relegation last season. The report adds the player is instead convinced about a move to AC Milan. However, the Italian club have offered Bruges just 20 million. That has been rejected straight away by the Belgian side. Is Top still at Leicester? Is he still there? Who knows? Right, now, okay, this is where it gets silly. Let me just see, because you're not going to believe me until I bring this up. And I know what you're going to say. I know what you guys are going to say. It's like, it's in the sun. And I get that. And I'm just trying to find it here now. UK sport. Let's just see if I can find it. All football. Did you know Ronaldo's gone missing? Who knew? Who knew? Sky Sports have kept it quiet. I can't find it. I can't find it on here. But let me just tell you what this is all about here. Well, Chelsea's new kit is out. Looks a bit yuck. Okay, let me tell you what this is all about. Wayne Rooney's next club. Okay, so this is the Sun. Yeah. Don't shoot the messenger, and don't just say, "Oh, it's the Sun." Who believes the Sun? I hate that. That winds me up. If you haven't got anything to add to the actual conversation, then don't bother. Don't just sit there and go, "Well, it's from this paper or this this source, therefore it's rubbish." Mike, good evening, sir. How the devil are you? I hope you're welcome. Can anybody say, by the way, just before I get onto this, have they, when they see the when they come into the chat, do you get a thing come up on the chat with sort of the group rules at all? Let me know if you saw that or you didn't. I'm trying to get that to come up with some rules, just so everybody knows sort of where they stand and does the mods tell you, etc. So let me know. Right, here we go. So Wayne Rooney's next club. Oh, at least the best in odds suggests that he could be heading stateside. Maybe that is why. It did work, did it, Mike? Brilliant, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. Hope it made sense. I hope it made sense. So Wayne Rooney could be going to America. That could be why Jamie Vardy doesn't want to go to America. Can you imagine? Yeah. But anyway, so they brought his odds out. And the odds of, and Spencer saw it as well. Thank you very much. Words and pictures. Yes, I had to tick the rules to get into the chat. Good addition. I like that a lot. Well done. Yeah. It's just a few things that have happened on channels where I've been a mod recently, and then on a channel last night. And I didn't see it, so it's not fair for me to comment on the actual thing that happened. But somebody wasn't happy with how they were being dealt with. But then again, it's up to the mods and it's up to whoever's channel it is, and they had every right to do that. And I saw that happen on somebody else's channel, to be honest with you, and I thought, oh, that's good. How did you do that? He told me, and I'm glad it's working. I'm glad it is working. You shouldn't have to do it, but hey-ho, hey-ho. Anyway, so the odds for where Wayne Rooney is going. Birmingham says, Mike. Yeah, you do indeed, Mike. You know very well. You know very well. Rooney could manage Birmingham. That is an option. Huddersfield. Now, Huddersfield have, I believe, today parted ways with their manager. I don't think they've sacked him. They've parted ways with their manager, which is a shame because he did so well for them. And it might mean that Dan has to review his positioning as Huddersfield as winning it next season. So Rooney could well go to Huddersfield. That would be probably a good move for him if he stays in this country. But apparently any MSL club is an evens bet for him. And you know what? There's very few, and this is only broken today, so I'm surprised they haven't got Bournemouth in. It's basically a lot of Premier League clubs. So Everton are 10-3 that you could join them. Well, we know the links there, so I mean, I wouldn't discount that. Newcastle 13-2. Really? I mean, take Rooney over Eddie Howe? No. Southampton 9-1. Could see that. I think he will go to another club before he goes to either Everton or Man United. Southampton, like I say, 9-1. Leicester City are 9-1. Leicester fans, would you want him? Would you want Wayne Rooney here? Leeds 10-1, could be an option for him. Norwich 14-1. Manchester United 16-1. I tell you what, I think Wayne Rooney would look at that and he'd go, no, thank you. And obviously, they've just signed 11 Hag. Why would they want him? Burnley 16-1, Villa 20-1, and Bournemouth 20-1. All clubs there with managers in situ. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. I wouldn't want him at Leicester. And I know people say, well, you know, he could be a good manager, blah, blah, blah. It's the Derby link. I'm sorry. It's like Everton did not want Benitez because of his Liverpool links. I'm sure Man United fans wouldn't want Pellegrini and that because of the Man City links. So I just wouldn't want him. Ask me again in a few seasons' time if it's all gone tit up, I might change my mind. But yeah, Wayne Rooney apparently is 9-1 with Betfair to be the next Leicester City manager. I think Huddersfield. You heard it here first. I think Huddersfield. Right, then let us... Terry F says, when I click on details, it takes me to a page on how to set up a YouTube channel, but nothing about rules. Oh, that is strange. You have come via Facebook, though. But Words and Pictures, Spencer and Mike, you all had to tick a box to get in, which basically laid the rules down, hopefully. Maybe it is a YouTube thing. Right, so this was interesting. And this was, let me just find this now. I'm going to try and again share this. I couldn't share that one from the Sun, so let's just see if I can. Rebecca Vardy's back in court. Super duper duper. Do you know, this is so annoying. Because wherever it was earlier, and they've moved it, and you can never find anything. Bloody hell. Honestly, Daily Mail, Sun, shite, aren't they? dailymail.co.uk/sport. Right, let's just try. If not, I have to read them out to you. But they've actually got the 100 worst strikers in Premier League history. And I'm only going to do the top 20. Otherwise, we'd be here till Kingdom Come. And no, the Mail goes shove it where it's not there. Honestly, bloody useless, these newspapers. Bloody useless. No wonder people aren't reading them anymore. So let's have a look at who are the 20 worst strikers. I'm sure you've all got your... Yeah, I will do, Mike. Don't worry, we'll have a chat. In fact, stay on afterwards if you want, and we'll have a chat on, and I'll tell you how to do it. So, who do you reckon the 20 worst strikers are ever? I said they've got 100 on the Daily Mail, but I'm going to give you 20. In fact, I might still be able to get it up. Here we go. Actually, yes. Right. Okay. So share screen. Is your favourite striker in there? That is the question. And the chances are yes. Let's have a look. So let me move this around. Let's go to this. There we go. And let's go to... Here we go. So let's go to here. So let me know if you agree or disagree as we go through with the 100 worst. I think you could be pressing the wrong link, Terry. You click learn more. There should just be a box that says you accept the rules. I don't know what you're doing, Terry. I really don't know. Right, so the 100 worst strikers. Here we go then. This is interesting. Number 20, Roberto Solardo. When Tottenham sold Gareth Bale and spent 109 million to replace him, hopes were placed in Roberto Solardo to shoulder the burden. I remember him. The Spaniard had enjoyed 3 lethal seasons with Valencia and was a proven talent in front of goal. But to the tune of 26 million, Andrew Villa's boss could be forgiven for expecting more than 4 of the 6 goals in his first season to come from the penalty spot. Oh dear. 19, Joe. 80 million Man City splashed on him, a Brazilian striker in July 2008, but in a month he was on a hiding to nothing. Abu Dhabi Investment Group completed a takeover of the club that transformed them overnight in the richest club into world football. Robinho joined, and the rest is history. Robinho, wasn't he the one that thought he was signing for Manchester United and signed for Manchester City? Yes, he was, Mike. I think he was. And let's go to 18. Yaya Sanogo. Yago Sanogo perfectly sums up the recent past of Arsene Wenger's Arsenal reign. Picked from the French league, he was a relative unknown, but Wenger believed he was investing in potential. He was severely mistaken. He was eventually released by Wenger in his last summer, and we were unlikely to see him in England ever again. Sean Dundee. Not Crocodile, Sean. Joint managers are never a good idea, and it's their lack of joined-up thinking that led Liverpool to spend $2 million on Sean Dundee in 1998. Sean Dundee at number 17, seeking cover for Michael Owen, Gerard Houllier and Roy Evans, settled on the South African-born German striker. After claiming he was as fast as the English striker upon his arrival, hopes were high. They had unearthed a gem. 3 late-season substitutes appearances later, he was back in Germany with Stuttgart. Oh dear. Grzegorz Raziak from Poland, and he went to Derby, say no more. But then that prompted Martin Jol to take a punt on the poll on deadline day, August 2005. But within 6 months, he had proven to be totally out of his depth. Southampton signed him on loan, made the deal permanent, and once again he flourished in the lower leagues. 2 years later, he returned to the Premier League with Bolton as Nicholas Anelka departed for Chelsea. Somehow it didn't work out. Kesman is number 18 from Chelsea, 5.3 million. It's amazing when we look at these prices and we think 5.3. In those days, it was really expensive. He was famed as a close-range poacher in Holland, but barely got a chance to show it in England. Thomas Brolin, my God. The man who sunk a miserable England at Euro 92 arrived on these shores from Swindon 3 years later. Howard Wilkinson, well, say no more, felt the Swede could work in tandem with Tony Yeboah up front, and obviously he didn't. Bosco Balaban, Aston Villa, 5.8 million, number 13, released in 2003 and went on to Bruges. And he only made 9 appearances in 2.5 years, and 7 of those were as a substitute. 12, Vincent Janssen. Desperate for a striker to take the pressure off Harry Kane, Tottenham spent 17 million to bring in the Dutch international. He scored 6 times in all competition, with 4 from the penalty spot. Dear Tottenham. Cisco at number 11. The mystery of Cisco's time at Newcastle is perhaps summed up by the fact he was seventh choice behind Michael Owen, Obafemi Martins, Mark Viduka, Peter Lovengrans, Shola Amobi and Andy Carroll. Let's face it, if you're behind Andy Carroll in the pecking order as a striker, that says it all to me. That says it all. Mike says Sodonga was atrocious. He was awful. He's agreeing. Well, Facebook user, if that's still Terry, you could well be very happy. You could be guessing that right. We'll do the top 10 straight after this.
Leicester Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
Okay, Mike, let me try and just quickly send you this link. There we go. Right. So let's go to the top 10, shall we? God, is this exciting stuff or what? Okay, so number 10. Okay, where do we go? Number 10. Eric Meyer. Despite being one of the most limited strikers in Liverpool history, Eric Meyer is remembered fondly by club supporters. Spent just one season at Anfield, scored twice in the same game, a Worthington Cup win over Hull, and just ran around a lot. Oh, haven't we all seen one of those? Number 9, Ricky van Wolfswinkel. Yes, good old Wolfswinkel. Norwich displayed their growing financial muscle by spending 8.5 million on Ricky van Wolfswinkel in 2013. He scored on his Premier League debut but failed to find the back of the net again. By April, he had managed only 8 shots on target and ended the season with 25 appearances as Chris Hughton's side slid back into the Championship. His best moment came late in the season away at Fulham when a no-look pass to absolutely no one. Sarcasm. Number 8, Andreas Cornelius. Premier League noise. New boys, Cardiff smashed their transfer record for paying 8 million for him in 2013. He was only 20, with only a year of goal scoring behind him at Copenhagen. The transition to England was steep. Basically, the club that summer, 2014, club owner Vincent Tan launched a fresh investigation into his signing, believing the club paid too much and instructed lawyers to take a detailed look into the transfer. Oh, now then, here we go. Konstanosis Mitgrolu. Well, that's not easy for me to say. Cornelius at Cardiff, shambles. Words and pictures, I'm enjoying these word strikers. Melina, hello, good evening. How the devil are you? Hope you are well and feeling a bit better. Wolfswinkel says words and pictures once heard, never forgotten, and never repeated as well. We're getting down to the top, to the top spot. But number 7, Fulham were desperately battling relegation, and in January 2014 they agreed 12 million fee with Olympiacos for the Greek striker. He may have been the record fee holder, but he appeared only 3 times due to a variety of injury, fitness, and form issues. In August, he returned to Olympiacos on loan and was promptly back to scoring in the Champions League with the winner against Atletico Madrid, no less. Isn't that sod's law? Number 5, Victor Anichibi. 12 seasons with Everton, West Brom and Sunderland. Between 2005 and 17, the Nigerian scored 27 times in 197 appearances, which means he scored roughly once every 7 or 8 games in 12 years. The longevity is to be admired, for Anchibi became the great survivor, somehow remaining a Premier League striker. Despite all his shortcomings, he made Bambi on ice look graceful. Number 5, Alfonso Alves. He's become a warning from history, that the infutable proof that you cannot trust any football that happens in Holland. Middlesbrough smashed their transfer record by spending 12.5 million on the Brazilian. And although his goal return was not necessarily that bad at 10 goals in 42 games, he has become a figure of fun in the intervening years and a symbol of that Borough side which got relegated in 2009. I do believe that was also the season they lost 2 cup finals, one of which was to Leicester. Oh, God, here we go. Stefan Guivarc'h. France proved that you don't need a striker to win the World Cup when Stefan Guivarc'h toiled on his own to no reward throughout their triumph in 1998. Kenny Dalglish was to see something in the striker who had enjoyed success in his own country when he paid 3.5 million to bring him to Newcastle. He made a bright start, scored in his debut against Liverpool, but then Dalglish was sacked soon after. Ruud Gullit arrived and promptly got rid of him in November. That's bad luck, isn't it? That is bad luck. I actually thought Anichibi was decent. Looking at those figures, he didn't look too bad, did he? Alfonso Alves, again, I thought he was decent for Borough. I thought he was. We are into the top 3. Who is in the top three. Let us have a look. And at number 3. No!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
Oh yes, our one and only AD Akin Badby. What? We are Britain's Got Talent. I'm building up the suspense here. AD Akin Badby. Well, Wolves saw us coming, and we had Peter Taylor as a manager. Put those two bits together, and we get Aiden Badby. That said, if you look at the guy behind him in this picture here, Trevor Benjamin, he wasn't much better. Looking at that body, though, would you go up and tell him he wasn't very good? No. I remember we went to Burnley because I lived in Burnley, and I went to watch Leicester play. And because I was in Burnley, I had my Leicester shirt on and then a T-shirt on over it. And as he walked out of the changing room to go to the to go to his car, I lifted my top up and showed him the Leicester shirt, and then ran very quickly, very, very quickly. I wasn't going to argue with him. Emile Heskey left for Liverpool for 11 million in 2000. Adi Akinbaye was lined up as replacement at 5.5, our most expensive signing at the time. After a decent enough return of 9 goals in his first season, he hit rock bottom in his second as Leicester hurtled back towards Division 1 or the second tier, just to clear things up. In a 4-1 defeat by Liverpool in 2001, he missed 3 sitters and was booed by his own fans. And he didn't just miss them, he skied every single one. He broke his duck with the win against Sunderland, after which he ripped off his shirt to show his bulging biceps. Yeah, would you like to be the referee that goes up and gives him a yellow card? He declared it as a turning point before scoring only 1 more in the campaign. Oh, and there's Andy Impey on the right as well, won't we? Adin Badby, yes, he certainly was. Good. In fairness, he did well at Wolves in the Championship. He did very well at Bournemouth in the Championship. He just isn't, and never was, I'm afraid, a Premiership player. And I think I did feel a bit sorry for him because, like I say, we had Peter Taylor as the manager, and any player that was trying to play decently under Peter Taylor, yeah, well, you know what I mean. Number 2, Ali Dyer. Good job he didn't marry Mrs. Rhea. Oh, come on. Come on. That, off the top of my head, that wasn't bad. No, never mind. Let's move on. The man, the myth, the legend, the striking flop to end all striking flops. Allegedly cousin of World Player of the Year George Weah, Graham Souness was hoodwinked into bringing him to Southampton. I really love this story. He should be number 1. He should be number 1. He joined in November 1996, made 1 solitary substitute appearance in place of Matt Letitia before suffering the ignominy of being substituted himself. He had no discernible skill and was utterly out of his depth. He was released 2 weeks into his contract. Mystery conspiracy theories and anecdotal evidence have followed Dyer around ever since his 1 appearance in this top flight. Who was he, and where, and how did he get to where he was? He briefly turned out for Gateshead before disappearing into the unknown. So Ali Dyer marries Mrs. Rhea. The only difference between him and diarrhea is that diarrhea continues to run. Oh, Mike, who is number 1? Are you ready? Okay, number 1. No more adverts. Josie Altidore. Played 70 Premier League games for Hull and Sunderland. He scored a grand total of 2 Premier League goals. After a fairly non-eventful loan spell with Hull in 2009-10, he returned to England in 2013 after a prolific few years in the Dutch league with AZ. Sunderland, managed by Paolo Di Canio, spent $6 million on the US international, and he repaid their faith with one strike in 42 league games. Altidore looked big and strong, like anything could hit him and stick. He should have been a colossus, he just wasn't. Clumsy on the ball and wide in front of goal, it was the worst of combinations to spearhead a struggling Sunderland side battling relegation. He left for Toronto in January 2015 with a strike rate of 1 goal every 35 games that few Premier League strikers can hope to rival. There we go, Josie Altidore there, the worst ever Premier League striker. What do you reckon? What do you reckon?
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Unbelievable indeed. I would have had off Mr. Dyer at number 1, but there we go. Anyway, that is your top 20 worst strikers. Get over to the Daily Mail .football and you will be able to see 100 to 80. Yes. 1 goal every 35 games. Okay, that's terrible. I think this comment, Mike, was words was made before you heard me say that. Although Mike doesn't think he was awful either. When I saw the name come up, I didn't think he was. I stand to remember him as being a decent player, but when I read the write-up, he wasn't, was he really? So it's the news. We are coming up at 7:45 tonight. We are going to be watching Norway versus Northern Ireland in the Women's Euros. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. We will be here at 7:45. Mike, who is obviously might not be joining us because he's a big Austria ladies fan, and he's just been in tears all day. He has been in tears all day. Yeah. He hasn't, but you know what I mean. So we're going to be back then at 7:45. If you're watching on YouTube, please give me that subscribe. I would really appreciate it. We are covering all the Euros. Don't forget the companies that sponsor us. You're talking about 3retro.com. They'll do all your club and international retro kits. You get 10% off your gaming accessories at faithfulgrips.co.uk. You have to quote a code, which is in the YouTube descriptions. Intro and outro videos for just $6, which is just short of a $5. Introchamp.com. And if you want some Leicester Till I Die merchandise, you can get 5% off by becoming a gold member. And the word said, I agree, you're number 1. I would have said so, just fact that he only played the 1 game, and it's a fantastic story. It is a fantastic story. So what was the news? Was there any news for Leicester City? Well, when you come to think that was probably more exciting when we were doing the 20 worst strikers. Probably not. But the news, just to run through it, Jamie Vardy wants a contract extension on his 12 months. Josie Green signs for Leicester City women from Tottenham. She was captain at Tottenham. Orkun Kokcu. This is training for Feyenoord. They say it's because of illness and sickness. But is he coming over? Is he coming over to Leicester to do a medical? Who knows? Indeed, he should be due back. Probably getting a game looking like it at Notts County this weekend in our first pre-season friendly, and it's nice to be playing the top team in Nottingham there. We're going to ignore Yuri Tillemans because you just want to read the story, whichever paper you click on. Sky say he's staying and signing the year's extension. One are saying he's going to Arsenal, and it's the same company. All our internationals have returned, except Yuri by the look of it. The Gaultier down to 2 clubs. I think he wants to go to AC Milan. We've been linked with him for a long time. I do not think he's coming. Wayne Rooney to come to Leicester as a manager, it isn't going to happen. And we've just seen who the top 20 worst ever strikers are.
Watch us on YouTube. Listen on your favourite podcast platform. Or ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow, and join in now.
If you are coming back, we will see you at 7:45 for the watch along for the women's football. If not, we will see you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock for the debate. And it's going to be, I think, a good debate. Taking the knee and all the rainbow laces, etc. Has it made any difference? Has it made any difference to racism or homophobia in football? I say it hasn't, looking at the latest reports, but we will see. 9 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be discussing that on this channel. Thanks to everybody that joined in the chat, Words, Terry, Mike, etc. And I will see you later, hopefully. Take care, stay safe, and remember, whatever you do, don't do anything I wouldn't enjoy. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.